Good evening, everyone. This is Kermit at Pole Position Racing.
And I'm Cosmo.
All right, we've got some Division 1, Race 1, Australia tonight. We got some good things in store. Racers are currently getting ready, invites are going out, and we're getting things set up over here at the stream. So, this is the first league race. Today it will be at Albert Park Circuit. That's in Australia, Melbourne, Australia to be Pacific. Today we're doing a 50% race. The number of laps will be 29. It is a 16-turn circuit, 10 to the right, 6 to the left. A lot of high-speed corners in this track. Cosmo, what would you say are the trickiest bits of this circuit?
Turn one is real tricky, especially on the opening lap. And I struggle a lot in the third sector. Windy, slow speed, or kind of medium corners, I guess.
Yeah, I'd say overall they're medium speed corners, but they seem slow speed just in compared to all the high speed corners of this track, I think.
Right, with turn one being like real quick, and then turn four being almost flat out as well. Or five, rather, turn five being flat out.
Right, right. Let's see. It should be okay. This isn't quite working as I was hoped. Okay. So I'm gonna have to 1 second here. I'm gonna just have to change up one capture here. I was hoping I'd be able to do that. Does not look like that will be the case. Alright, sorry about that. Just trying to do a screen capture here, and it's only working so well. So, I'm going to have to go ahead and turn that off. So, we've got Albert Park today. Plan to have a PowerPoint kind of set up with what we're walking through, but we'll have to do it just by voice today. We'll get that set up for next time. Sorry about that, everyone. But we'll go ahead and transition back to our normal landing page here. All right, so Albert Park Circuit. Again, a lot of high-speed corners, a lot of low-speed corners, or a lot of medium-speed corners, comparatively low speed. Gonna go ahead and load up the lobby here. All right, so for PPR, we have our teams finally set up. So what you've seen in the preseason may have been a little bit different than what we are going with in the season moving forward. So currently in Mercedes, we have Getchum and Creamy. In Ferrari, we have Rogue and Ruda. McLaren, we've got, let's see, oh, sorry, Red Bull, we've got Stoney and Shea B. McLaren, we've got Ter, T-E-R-E, and Hammer Time 44. Renault, Capita Hood, Persian King. Toro Rosso, we've got Muffin Man and Jay Warren. Let's see. Alfa Romeo, we have Kublai and Red Hornet. Racing Point, Doc Balak and W. Gore. We'll call him Gore for short. Haas, we've got Sky Archangel and Delirious and Williams. We have Dragonbone 81 as well as Shazam. So we've got a little bit of a hot lap setup of Albert Park here as well. Let's see. So we can go through that right now. We'll go ahead and get that set up for you. That will be here. All right, and this will be B-Dunk taking us through it on PPR Hot Lap Series. You can find these on our YouTube channel at PPR Esports. Let's take a look.
Hello and welcome to PPR's Hot Lap Series. We're on board now with B-Dunk as he takes us for a lap around Albert Park here in Australia as he crosses the line up into 8th gear before he goes hard on the brakes into T1, down to 5th gear, cutting that inside curb, using the exit curb all the way, activating that DRS onto the 2nd straight here, staying up in 7th gear before hard on the brakes yet again all the way down to 2nd gear, narrowly missing that inside curb, up into 3rd with a lift here, short shifting to 4th, keeping it nice and flat through this right-hander, not to lose control, using some of the exit curb, staying up in 7th before hard on the brakes down to 4th gear, cutting that inside curb and using the exit curb, maximizing that, now staying as close as possible to the inside of the grass before hard on the brakes yet again down to 3rd gear, clipping that inside corner and using that exit curb, careful not to spin out here as he goes on to the not so straight part of the track, up into 7th, coming to the high-speed chicane. He'll downshift to 6 with a slight dab of the brakes there, coming flat through this next corner, activating that DRS, trying to get as much speed as he can out of that exit to maximize his potential as he brakes now down into 4th gear, narrowly missing that curb, using all of the exit curb there with a big lift in 5th gear, coming through into the penultimate corner, all the way down 2nd gear before lining it up perfectly. A little short shift into 4th, a little bit of oversteer there as he comes through, activates that DRS, comes all the way up and across the line. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, a hot lap around Albert Park thanks to B-Dunk.
All right, thank you for that, B-Dunk. Appreciate the hot lap there. So, as you can see, a lot of high-speed corners. We've got turn 1, pretty high-speed corner for F1. Let's see. Pretty high-speed corner. You got to keep it settled to get your entry right into turn 2. Again, you see the same thing through 3, 4, and 5. Your entry to turn 3 really sets up your exit for turn 4 and 5. Again, entry to 6 leads to turn 8, 9 to 10. So a lot of dependent corners here. What would you say is the most important entry on the on the circuit, Cosmo?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Mm.
Honestly, Main Straight, I think that last corner, at least for me, has always been a tough one. It's a lot tighter than it looks and feels, and you don't really have a lot of run up there. It's kind of just a wall and a little bit of grass.
Yeah, I agree with you. And trying to get the power down is so important out of that corner. Getting the power down correctly or incorrectly just can make or break your game. Or excuse me, your
Yeah, I
lap
can.
time. All right, while we're waiting for our drivers to get set up here, looks like we got 19 loaded, might be waiting on a 20th here. We're positioned pretty well for a full grid. What are some of the things that you've been seeing this week that we can, excuse me, in Formula One news or with 2019 or otherwise?
Well, Lewis Hamilton inked his new deal after last week Max getting his new deal. I think he's going to be, it was a 2-year deal for like $100 million, so $50 million a year. So
Okay.
it kind of really shaped up the grid, at least the top end of the grid for 2021.
Yeah, how many years did he sign his contract for? Sorry, I missed that.
Through 2022.
Through 2022. Okay.
He'll
So
be
it
there for
will
the
be
first
through the
2
rule
years of.
change.
Yeah, he'll be there for the first 2 years. So that really, it looks like the top 3 drivers of all, or 3 teams have all locked in their top driver through the rule change.
Yeah, really nice. That's exciting. So do you think there will be any other grid shakeups going forward? Moving to any of the teams further down the grid?
There might be. I don't know. Especially for 2021. We'll have to wait and see how the season plays out. But yeah, I think it's pretty much set for next season, and then I think it'll depend on the development of the teams. No one really knows which teams are going to be good in 2021 yet because they haven't started developing those cars.
Yep, that's fair. I find it interesting that you don't hear about a lot of other long-term, we'll say, deals with any other drivers, and I think a lot of that has to deal with the inconsistency of other drivers, and no one knows, like you were saying, no one knows exactly what the teams or the cars are going to look like.
Yeah, so yeah, I think that'll be next summer, or next silly season rather.
Sure,
We
makes
can talk
sense.
about that.
Right, we can start speculation about that. Okay, so another thing I saw in the news this week, Circuit of the America posted on their Twitter page that they're resurfacing this month.
Yeah, that'll be nice. Sounded like a lot of the drivers were complaining there when I watched the race.
Oh yeah, I
So
mean, how
hopefully,
many cars do we see basically fall apart just from the bumps?
too many.
Yeah, there seem to be a lot of technical issues. Yeah, so that'll be really good. That's something that us streaming from North America, we like to see we'll call them the hometown tracks. Basically Circuit of the America and Canada. I still don't know how to say that one, but we'll work on that before the race comes. But yeah, just having those two, it's good to see that we're not just letting one basically decay. That they're at least willing to invest into the race coming back.
Oh, and it seems like we got our 20th. I think so. We must have got a sub, maybe, or maybe the last person joined in.
Yep, potentially. It
But we
looks
do have a full grid
like.
tonight.
Yeah, we do have a full grid, so that'll be. Oops.
Yeah, going back to Coda, it's good to see them working on that circuit.
Yep, absolutely. It'll also be interesting to see. There's been rumors flying around of a Miami GP. Those will be, I don't know, we'll see, because that'll be a street course in the U.S. and we haven't had one of those in a while. I know there's, I think the GT cars or maybe F1, I think used to race there at, was it Long? I think the Long Beach circuit.
Maybe.
So that was another like street circuit that was set up, pretty challenging for the drivers. I think they're still working out with the town of Miami to get to the final track layout and to make sure that all of the residents are happy. I think there was a lot of pushback from them originally.
Makes sense. Was there ever talk of them doing one in New York? Because I thought they just raced Formula E in New York this past year.
Oh, that would be really interesting. I'd like to see that. Another race like that added to the calendar.
Yeah, I don't know though. I'd hate to see Coda leave. For me, that's one of my favorite tracks, regardless of the fact that it's in America. I think it's just a beautiful track.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I definitely think there are parts of the track, primarily the bumpiness, that could be improved, but provided they can get that all sorted out, they should be just fine.
Yeah. It looks like qualifying's getting underway here. No one out of the pit lanes yet, but it looks like we got a Ferrari leaving, maybe. And there goes Ruda and a Red
Yep,
Bull.
and we've got a couple. Let's go ahead and transition to the game here. See who has left the pits.
So it looks like we got a Haas out front leading the way, followed by a Williams.
All right, we've got.
So it looks like Sky Archangel is leading us out here on his out lap.
All right, Sky Archangel leading the train of cars down the back straight. So come up to the penultimate corner. Oh, sorry, penultimate corner coming up here. Hopefully get a good exit for the straight. And down the main he goes. Getting as much speed as he can here before a heavy braking zone into turn 1 and a fast corner into turn 2. Slams on the brakes, takes a right turn. Left, being careful not to take too much curb there. And all the way down, looks like there's maybe a premature downshift there, but we'll see how that goes. Stays in gear 3 a little long. Not something I myself do, but potentially something you're supposed to do. And right hand, being careful not to take too much curb on the entry.
Yeah, that's a really easy one to spin on.
High speed corner here, double downshift into 5th. Left, then a right.
Ooh, that was close. He looked like he might cut the chicane a little bit there.
That's true. We'll see if that comes up as a corner cutting. I didn't see the notification, which typically we will. Oh, and his lap is still valid, so it must have counted it.
Is it? Okay.
Yep. Back onto the straight. Sky Archangel first to set a time with a 1:20.8. That's a pretty good time, I'd have to
That is
say.
a pretty good time.
Yeah, I'm on board with that.
Was the fastest lap around here done in time trials?
1:18. One sec. 1:18.8. 1:18.847. That is the currently the leading time trial for. Let's see, PC leaderboard.
And it looks like he's got about 0.3 of a second on everyone who's finished the lap so far, at least.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, really solid time by Sky Archangel. We'll see who ends up coming into the pits next. Or sorry, coming in with the time next.
Looks like Delirious is running his hot lap instead of Hot's his first one.
Interesting. Let's see how that works out for him. That's one of the corners that's really tough. It'll punish you on the hard tires. Like Delirious is trying to do. You try to take that fast left-hand turn, and it just... you can get away from you on the hard tires. If you take that too wide, your exit of the next turn becomes just too slow.
Ooh, Shazam must have made a mistake. Yeah, Delirious didn't like his lap back into the pits.
Yep. Got Muffin Man, I believe, in a hot lap currently. He might be our sub. Nope, he's not our sub. Hard braking into fourth around the corner. A little bit of trouble getting the power out. He had to steer a little far right, come back left. But overall, not too bad.
A little bit deep there. Just pulls it in.
Comes around, got the Alfa Romeo, I believe, of Kublai behind him on his out lap. So shouldn't have anyone. Oh, and comes into the pits.
He must cut a lap or cut a corner on his first lap then.
Must be. So
Because it had him reading his one lap.
Some idiot goes fastest with a 120.3. Kublai starting his flying lap currently. Down to fourth. On the power. Looks like a pretty tidy lap.
Yeah, he's looking pretty clean so far. Looks like
48.4.
It looks like Shazam improved on his time from 2 minutes to brought it down to a 123. So he must have made a pretty big mistake that for him.
Yep, much better lap time out of Shazam. Let's see if it holds. 9 drivers on their out lap currently. Couple potentially on hot laps. Kublai goes second fastest with the 120.8.
Very nice time.
Yeah, can't be unhappy with that one. Let's see where the rest of the grid comes in at. Oh, Shay B pulling over, letting someone by right there. Ruda currently on a flying lap.
I don't think he is. I think he's on an in lap.
Oh, you could be right about that.
He just let Muffin Man past him.
Stoney pulling out of his lap. I believe that was, at least at the start, was a hot lap. Gore still at the beginning of his hot lap. Split is 1/10 down on his last time, so he'd be at about a 121 or so right now. That may put him 5th.
See if he can keep it tidy for the rest of this lap.
Nicely handled through that corner. Again, fast corner here. We got sector 2 split just before it. He's second and 1.1 seconds up on his whole time. Ran it a little bit wide. I'd have to imagine he won't be happy with that. He'll either be heading into the pits or for either a new set or giving it a go. Knocking down the ERS.
Yeah, and it
There we
sounded
go.
like he had a little bit of lockup on that last corner too.
Yeah. Let's see if he goes around again.
Nope.
Nope,
Right
into the pits.
pits.
Makes sense. You don't really want to be doing more than one lap on these tires. Especially when you're going to be starting the race. We had someone just go wide. Oh, behind Rogue. Rogue running into someone. Oh, boy.
Oh, that's not good.
That was messy.
Yeah,
Hopefully
there's still
Rogue
cars on
was...
the track.
Oh, hopefully Rogue was on his in lap. I couldn't see who that was.
And it looks like some idiot's about to start his second flying lap here. See if he can't improve on a 120.3.
120.37 was his last time. Going in to try and beat it. Just exiting sector 1, 2/10 up on his old time. We'll see if he can't scrape that back over sector 2 and sector 3.
Well, it looks like Sky Archangel with a nice lap, 120.68. Puts him in second for now.
Oops.
Some idiot must not have been happy. It looks like he pulled to the side and let someone through there.
Yep. Wonder if we'll try again. Or we'll try again. Whether it'll be on this set of tires or not, I'm not sure.
I think we'll see it. He's not running any ERS right now, so he might try it again on these tires. He was really only pushing through that first sector.
Stoney getting ready to start his hot lap. Trying to get heat into those tires.
Nope, some idiot decides to pit.
Ruda, Gore, Creamy, Stoney, Getchum, Warren, Delirious, and Rogue all on outlaps currently. Nice exit from Stoney. Pretty critical braking zone here. Down into fourth. Ooh, third. Getting that little bit of extra rotation on the car. Yellow flag coming into sector 3. Probably just someone on their outlap. Ooh, that was close there from Stoney.
A lot of guys have been taking that line. I think they know where they can and can't go. I could be wrong though.
No, that makes sense. That curb isn't too punishing. It's okay to put both tires on that most of the time and not have any repercussions.
Yeah, it could unsettle the car a little bit, but it's usually not too bad. It looked like Stoney improved on his time by about 0.2 of a second there. So it doesn't move him up a spot, but does improve on his time.
Yep, modest improvement there. Ruda
Whatever
currently on a hot
reason,
lap, having to dodge Rogue on the way out.
looks like Sky Archangel is doing an outlet or a hot lap on mediums.
Interesting.
It's
Trying to
interesting.
see if he
He's
can't go
second.
faster than his last time. I can understand wanting to start on mediums from the start, but trying to outpace yourself on mediums is important. Ruda goes second
That's tough.
fastest, 120.6. Sky Archangel in the middle of his medium hot lap. Let's ride on board for that.
Yeah, put about 2/10 there, 3 sector 1.
Down into third. Laying on the throttle. Sky Archangel, the only one currently on mediums.
Yeah, it's an interesting call.
Yeah, we'll see how it works out for him. Could be just for a little more practice. Yeah, it didn't look like he was gonna, especially with that last corner exit. I don't know if that's what ended up sealing it. I'm assuming his delta was large as it was. Let's take a look here.
We got about 2 minutes left qualifying. Time for everyone to get a final lap in.
Yep, Kublai on his outlap, Persian King on the outlap, Dragon Bone and Shay B all on outlaps.
Just some idiot. Some idiot's coming up to the penultimate corner here in just a minute, or just
Correct.
a second.
Rogue about half a lap away from starting his lap. 3 drivers have not yet set times. We have Delirious, Rogue, and Dagger.
See if they, what's going on with that?
Red Hornet was disqualified for blocking the pit lane. That is always tough.
Oh, that is.
I
And it looks like Young Eggers had 2 laps invalidated. Maybe not. Maybe it was Rogue.
Dagger will have to put together one quick in order to set a time. He has 50 seconds to cross the finish line. For those of you that aren't familiar, once you cross the finish line, you have the rest of the lap to finish your time. As long as you cross the finish line before the qualifying clock gets to 0. We're at 39 seconds currently on counting down. We still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 drivers on an outlap.
And Rogue starting his hot lap here. See if he can't put a time up on the board.
Kublai in the midst of a hot lap. Gore started his. 2 yet. Stony and Delirious are both on outlaps. We'll see if they make it. Sky Archangel now on an outlap. Sky Archangel, the best they can qualify is 3rd. Creamy, best is 4th. Stony, best is 9th. Muffin Man, best is 14th. Let's take a look. We'll see what Rogue can do. We'll see what Delirious can do. See if they can knock a couple of those players down.
Yeah, Rogue just entered the final sector.
Rogue goes 7th fastest, went a 120.8. Delirious on a hot lap. Dagger locks in his time at 9th.
Yeah, it looks like Delirious is going to be the last time here. I think everyone else should be about done.
Capita Hood goes 6th fastest, knocking Rogue down to 8th. Delirious crossing the finish line, 16th with a 122.2. So there you have it. Barring any other time penalties, which are pretty rare in qualifying, we have first is Some Idiot, second Ruda, third Sky Archangel, fourth
Creamy looks like he's got a grid penalty.
Creamy.
Maybe a 5th place from when when I saw him, he had collided with, or he was spun with someone. So I don't know if he touched someone, but yeah, he's got a grid penalty. I didn't make it any further down the list before the session ended.
Nope, that's fair. We'll get a good glimpse of it here.
Oh yeah.
Some Idiot first, Ruda second, Sky Archangel third. Creamy drops to, no, qualified fourth, but has a, yep, five position grid penalty. So that means Kubale fifth will now be fourth, Capita will be fifth, Gore will be sixth, Rogue seventh, Dagger eighth, and then Creamy will be ninth. Stony 10th,
Yep.
Ketchum 11th, Persian King 12, Dragon 13th, Shaby 14th, Muffin Man 15th, Delirious 16th, Warren 17th, Shazaman 18th, and Doc Balak 19th, and following up the back of the grid, Doc Balak.
And I think now is as good a time as any, but if you haven't, like and subscribe. Someone in the comments is saying we're 3, so if we get that, that'd be awesome.
All right, waiting as the drivers select their tire strategy. Cosmo, can you run us through the expected tire life of these tires?
So your soft tires go anywhere from 11 to 13 laps. 13 is about the top end of that. Medium 16 to 18, and hards 22 to 24. So it'll be a stretch to do a one stop, but I think a few drivers will try it.
Yep, I think you're right. I think we have a league that very much likes to go to the one-stop strategy if possible. Always one stop. As long as you can maintain the pace, is going to be faster than your two-stop. We did not get a chance to clock the pit stop delta, so the first time someone is able to take a pit in the race, we will go ahead and clock their time, and we'll get a better idea of how many positions could potentially be dropped during a pit stop.
And it looks like we are away on our lap.
Yep, we're out on the warm-up lap. Gotta go grab one thing. Perfect. There we go. All right, sorry about that. If anyone from Codemasters is watching this stream, let's go ahead and add in an option to not have pause pop up automatically, at least in spectator mode. That would be awesome. So, getting back to it, got the formation lap going. About to come to an end here. We're in the believe we're pulling into turn number 13 right now. Some idiot trying not to get fast. Excuse me, much faster than the rest of the pack here, trying to keep them close, all bunched up. But at the same time, he's still got to maintain those tires. All right, we have 4 racers starting on the medium tire. That is Getchum, Persian King, Delirious, and Doc Balak. And we have 2 starting on the hard. That is Shazam and Red Hornet. So those going with the medium and hard strategy, they may be looking to do a one stop and expecting everyone else to do a 2-stop, or they really favor their chances of doing medium stint first than a soft stint first. Think they'll run into a little less traffic that way.
Yeah, and I think the two hard tires are one stop for sure.
Red Hornet pulling up to his spot currently. Once he is parked and ready to go, the red lights will start, and we'll be on our way. 1 light, 2. And the lights are out and we're off. Everyone jockeying for position coming into turn 1. High-speed turn. Some idiot comes out way ahead of the
Big
pack.
collision. 3 cars off the left in turn 1 there. W Gore. Oh,
We got parts flying through turn 3 and 4 here.
yeah, turn 1 was a mess. It looks like there's about 6 cars here all
So everyone comes up
tangled
to
up.
6.
So I think we'll be seeing some early pit stops from some of those guys.
That we will. It'll be interesting to see how many we get.
Oh, Muffin is retired.
Muffin Man had to retire out of the race.
Yep.
See where he's parked. Wow, that was not a good idea. Do not try to go to a racer that is no longer here.
Yeah, it's hard to get to them.
There we go. Okay. All right, some idiot way out in front of the pack. Currently don't have any interval data. We can only tell that there are 4 racers that have lost position on lap 1. That would be Red Hornet, Ruda, Stony, and Creamy Johns. Want to make a quick correction. Red Hornet, I believe, started at the back of the grid. I think when I was calling out the
He
names,
did.
I said Doc Balak. Quick correction on that. So Doc Balak up at least 1 position. Hopefully we'll start to get some lap data as they
Looks
cross
like
the line here. Here we go.
Creamy's into the pits. He's got 2 cars in front of him.
Yep. Rogue, Stony. Whoa, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cars into the pit.
Oh, and Creamy's going to get
And
out
we
for
have a
while
safety
here.
car. That's right. All right, so the safety car is out. Drivers will queue up behind the safety car. Let's go ahead and tune in and see
I don't think
how we're going to
some
shake out
idiot's
of the
going to like
pits.
that.
No, some idiot's got to be pretty unhappy with that. He was at least 8/10 up coming in across the line. So to have that gap, basically accordion back down, kind of everyone stacked back up on top of him. Try and get another restart here. He can't be happy with that. However, basically from 11th position on, everyone had to pit, so it will be pretty interesting to see how it shakes out after the restart here. We should have a
Yeah,
pretty
it'll
good
work out
restart.
nicely for those guys.
Everyone must be feeling the season 1 jitters. We've got everyone knows they're on camera right now, being recorded. They can't take it back. So unfortunately, we weren't in a great position to see exactly what happened on that first turn. But I'll try to line up some incident reports. Hopefully, Muffin Man was recording and he can get on that.
So what do you think? 55 days till the start of F1. Can you wait, or is it going to be eating at you?
55 days, definitely going to be eating at me. I think it'll depend on when Drive to Survive comes out. If Drive to Survive came out tomorrow, I'm set. I'm set for all 50 days.
Yeah. And then I guess a few teams have already passed their FIA credit for the next season, so that's been good for them for Ferrari, Haas, Williams, and Racing Point.
Yep.
And that's really good for Williams considering how slow and they were last year. Looks like Doc Block into the pits.
Doc Block into the pits again. Yeah, I wonder what.
I don't know if he made a mistake.
And Patel, you're
Yes.
correct. It did say safety car right after the first corner incident. I'm actually just so not used to the safety car being deployed that in my mind it wasn't even an option. So next time the safety car comes out, if it ever comes out the rest of the season, none of our drivers would dare crash into each other for the rest of the season. But if it does come out, we'll hopefully be a little quicker on the draw next time.
Yeah, I definitely missed that as well. And it looks like Doc Block also got a penalty for speeding in the pit lane in that time. So.
Oh, that's always such an unfortunate penalty to pick up.
It is. That one hurts a lot.
And especially, we'll get confirmation, but I believe some of the racers are racing without racing lines, so that can definitely be harder.
I think everyone is. I thought this was no racing line league.
We'll get
But I could be
confirmation
wrong.
on that, but I think you're right. I know there
I think
was.
when they added D2,
I
they
see.
went to no racing lines, but I could be wrong.
That makes sense. All right, safety car will be in this lap. As we come
Yeah, and
around turn 10.
hopefully the drivers can avoid contact this time around. It looks like a couple more penalties coming in for collisions. Yeah, Stoney and Rogue with severe collision
Did that just happen?
penalties. Yes,
I
on
see.
the during the safety car.
On the restart. Safety car pulling into the pits. Now some idiot can keep it slowed down as long as he wants, and he's off. So the only thing he cannot do is slow back down from this point on. 5-second penalties getting handed out like crazy. Looks like Red Hornet's dropping back. Stoney's dropping back into the pits.
I'll
Warren
take
into
a
the
look at
pits.
those
Dagger into
after
the pits.
the restart here.
Nice fight with Sky Archangel and Capita Hood to gain for 7th position. Some idiot currently is way out ahead of the pack in with 1 second.
Yeah, it seems
Past
like he's got a
Captain
lot of pace here. Doc Block, another 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
Unfortunate, Doc. You got to get those braking points down. Warren out of the
see.
race.
We've got
Shazam falling back quickly.
Delirious, W. Gore, Ruda, Gore again, and Red Hornet all with 5-second collisions. And Warren with speeding in the pit lane as well.
All right. Who is that? Kublai ran wide.
Oh, and it looks like James Warren is out of the session.
Ruda drops a couple positions to Gore. And Red Hornet. Ruda falling back to pack. Ruda having some trouble getting down the main straight here. Looks like he's hurting. Trying to get those tires up to temp. Might have just gotten out of the pits. Quite a significant gap between Dagger and Delirious. That is 13th and 12th. So that is our splitting point where we have had pits. So it looks like about 25 seconds is the difference for a pit currently. Yellow flag, sector 2.
Yeah, and it looks like Ruda's just struggling right now. He's falling way off the back.
Yeah, Ruda, minute and 1 second behind the leader. Still not within lapping distance just yet, but if he continues at that pace, it will not be too long before some idiot gets caught up.
No, and it looks like Capita Hood is holding on to the back of some idiot here, still just barely in DRS range. So
yeah, Capita Hood doing a good job to stay just within that DRS range. Of course, he'd like to be closer, and he's closing it ever so slightly each lap. Sector 2, yellow flag.
We will have DRS.
Gore heads back into the pits. Currently, Dagger, Stoney, Hornet, Gore, Doc Bullock, and Ruda all have 2 stops under their belt. Rogue, Creamy, and Delirious all with 1 stop. So Rogue and Creamy have done a really good job to get back ahead of Shazam, who has not had a stop yet. I wonder if Shazam has some damage to his car that maybe he should consider pitting. Otherwise,
Sure.
at the very least, I have to imagine there was a bit of a run wide or spin out at one point. Gore coming back out of the pits. Ruda coming into the pits. Gore and Ruda both on 3 stops. Tough race for Ruda already. He's 1 lap behind, has been lapped. Is coming from, was that second?
He started pretty high up, yeah.
Yeah, he was in second, I believe. So yeah, that's a pretty tough start. It'll be tough to come back from that, that's for sure. Capita falling to 1.6 seconds behind some idiot right now.
Yeah, he made a couple mistakes end of that last lap and the start of this one. His Sky Archangel's closed up behind him by almost a second.
Creamy John's right on the heels of Kublai with 0.7 seconds behind. Sky Archangel also vying for second with Capita Hood. Sky Archangel doing his best to close that gap down to 7 tenths.
Yeah, he'll have DRS down this straight.
Cross line activates the DRS, throws it open almost immediately, puts his foot down. Capita doing a pretty good job of staying ahead.
Oh, it looks like Dagger's retired.
Dagger with a retirement. Sky Archangel doing a good job to close, about 2/10 on Capita Hood. We'll see if he can make up any on the next lap before the next DRS zone.
It looks like Stoney had another 3-second penalty for corner cutting. A little mistake there for Sky Archangel.
Patel, thanks for the request. You want to see the lap times? We've got 1:24.8 is the fastest lap in the race right now, set by some idiot, and behind him we've got, let's see, 124 by Sky Archangel, 125 by Dragonbone and Capita Hood alone, 26 is by Capita Hood.
With a spin. Oh,
Ooh.
he broke a tire suspension. It looks like he's out of the race.
And Capita Hood is out. So Getchum up into 4th. Got to be happy with that. 6 points up from where he started. Dragonbone also 9 places up from when he started. Shay B 8 places. Persian up 5. Kublai down 3, but not terrible. Can still salvage a race.
Yeah, there's still a lot of race left, and I don't know if it's early race jitters or just from the beginning of the season here, but it's been a rough start for a lot of these guys. Ooh,
That it has.
Doc block into the wall as well.
See how he recovers. Doc Block missing half his front wing. Got to be another pit coming from Doc. Got to imagine he's not going to stay out like that. He's got to do his best to dodge cars on the way back. Bumps into the wall, using it as a little bit of a steering aid. Ooh, lockup. That is a tough thing to do, go around any of these corners without a front wing.
It is. That mistake really opened it up for some idiot.
That it did.
He's now 4.5 seconds up almost on Sky Archangel.
Meanwhile, we've got Rogue half a second off Creamy. Doing his best to catch up. I really hope that's my audio.
I didn't hear anything on my end.
Either my audio is not working. Doc Block going to the outside, doing a good job to stay away out of our main runners, diving into the pits. Either Rogue's engine is about to blow up or my audio is not quite working. It has him just pegged at full revs, doing his best to get on the back of Persian King. See if he can't get around.
Yeah, I think it might be an audio glitch.
Persian King defending well, going down the inside. Coming around, looks like he got the position. Can he make it stick? Going for Creamy Johns. 1/10 behind, slowly closing the gap.
If you can get a good run on him, this hairpin's an okay spot to pass. Got it. Looks like Creamy's on the hards and he's on the medium. Should be an easy pass.
Yeah, very unfortunate glitch from the F1 game. It has all of the telemetry for me pegged at full revs. Wouldn't be so bad if the sound didn't come along with it. Codemasters take note. Rogue doing a really good job of getting past Creamy Johns. Put 8/10 on him already.
And Sky Archangel into pits for his foul. See where that puts him out.
Sky Archangel
Williams
into the pit,
behind him,
onto hards.
Just out in front of the Williams.
Dragonbone into the pits, onto the mediums.
Yeah, that'll be a tough two-stop strategy if you're going on to the mediums at this point.
Rogue pulling away. Persian King making a fight for Rogue's position. Gets a little bit of a tap, goes sideways. Creamy Johns spins out, almost loses it around the corner. Is now back down to where Persian King, or with Persian King. Rogue nicely up into 5th. Creamy Johns in jeopardy of losing 6th to Persian King. Kublai, to be noted, up in 4th, trying to challenge Shea B for 3rd position. Looks like Persian King is right on the heels of Creamy Johns, trying to get him to make a mistake. Oh, Persian King drops back a little bit. Didn't have quite as good an exit as Creamy Johns did. And Kublai.
Kublai's out.
Dang it, happened again.
Oh, and put it in the wall, it looks like.
Yep. Was that also took out Gore? Either took out Gore with him or Gore happened to hit him on the way by. Gore with a do not finish. Did not finish. We're down to 14 racers. Who will survive?
Australia's just eating drivers alive today.
That it is. Take a look. Shea B into the pits. Onto the hards. Delirious, 0.8 of a second behind Persian King. Through that DRS zone, trying to close the gap. Persian King getting a little bit of a slide. Whoa, had to dodge. Was Ruda on the way by. Ruda retired from the session. 13 drivers left. Whoa, little bit of a slide on Delirious. Slides around the corner. Let's see how he fixes this. As to not get out in front of any of the other drivers. Doing a good job to stay out of the way. Spinning it around. Got to eat up the back tires. Got to be careful to not run into anyone here because that is almost a certain
looks
penalty.
Like Delirious was disqualified. Yep.
Delirious disqualified.
Backwards.
Oof. Hopefully we'll get word on him from the chat to see what happened there. It's, at least as to why he was disqualified.
It looks like he was driving the wrong way. So I'm not going, but
I see. He did briefly. Sometimes that's necessary just to kind of spin the car around, especially when you can't see very well. But unfortunately, the game tags it as an automatic disqualification.
yeah, I've had it happen to me before in a race, and it doesn't feel good.
Nope, definitely doesn't feel good. One of those things that sometimes is unavoidable just to get back to your position. Some idiot got to be loving the position that he's in. He's been 11 laps on these softs. Feels no reason to push any faster. Got Getchum coming behind him.
Absolutely checked out at this point.
Yep, absolutely. He's got to be on autopilot. Just keep the tires moving. The later he can pit in this, the better off he comes out, I think. Because Getchum either has to take a longer stint on his current tires or he's got to pit to the hards or make a two-stop. I guess two-stop option is still available. Depends on how much time he thinks he can cut off.
It looks like things have shaken out and not a lot of action going around the track right now.
Not a whole lot.
People
Our closest
spread out a little bit.
Correct. Yeah, our closest contest right now is Shea B in 9th, 2 seconds off Shazam.
Some idiot in the pits. Here he comes out on a set of mediums. Should be going to the end.
Comes out in 3rd. Yep, just in front of Creamy. Let's see if Creamy can make the pass.
Will be tough. He's on 11 lap hold hards.
Oof. A little bit of a slide out around that corner. It's going to give up some time to some idiot right there. So if you're some idiot right now, you want to be maintaining position. Hold off this spot if you possibly can. But honestly, I don't think it's the end of the world if he loses this position right here. Because Creamy...
yeah, Creamy's a pretty quick driver, but I think he wants to be ahead of an old set of hards on the road. I think they could slow him up just enough that there'd be a challenge at the end of the race.
Yeah, I would agree with that, especially with the 1.3 seconds that some idiot has already been able to put onto Creamy. It seems like he's going to have no problem.
Yeah, should be catching up with Rogue here in a lap or two.
Creamy John's into the pits.
Putting on a set of mediums.
Shazam.
No, set of softs. Nope, set of mediums.
Creamy John's falling to 7th. Coming out of the pits, let's see if Shea B is able to close that
Yeah, I
12-second
think Shea B
gap.
might be able to get him here.
Shea
Yep,
passed
Shea
him,
B
so
just
does
passed him.
Shazam.
So he'll come out in 9th ahead of Stoney.
Not a terrible position to be in, especially considering Shazam's on 13-lap old tires. Let's see if Creamy can track down Shazam. Some idiot still closing the gap between Rogue. He's only 1.1 seconds behind Rogue, soon to be in DRS though.
Yep, he just entered DRS range. He is significantly quicker than Rogue.
Shazam looking down to track down Shea B for 7th. So, the 1-lap old mediums versus the 12-lap old mediums. Who do you think is going to come out on top here?
I'd take the 1-lap old mediums 99 out of 100 times.
Rogue, not too wide on that. I like that line. Some idiot cutting it pretty close. Getting a pretty good run down the straight with DRS. I think he's going to have no problem, at least pulling us alongside Rogue. Gets the nose cone pass. We'll see if he can't get back in front of him before the first turn. Cuts a little left. Takes a shallow right across the left.
As well from some idiot.
Some idiot really pushing here to close that gap. Only has 4 seconds to close on Getchum, the current race leader. I would consider some idiot the provisional race leader at the moment.
Absolutely. He's got everyone by almost a pit stop.
Shazam into the pits, just as it was looking like he was going to pass Shea B. So it looks like a lot of the racers are switching from the hards after 13 laps. What do you have to say? What do you think about that?
I think it makes sense, only just because I think most of them have pitted a couple times before that, right?
Yeah.
So they want to be on the mediums, the faster tire for as long as possible. And I think 14 laps will be just about the sweet spot for their life.
Yep, I can agree with that. I think right now the decision's less about being able to push the hard tires further and more about we're about in the window to push mediums to the end of the race.
Right.
Mediums.
And it looks like Persian King up past Sky Archangel here into 4th.
Yep. Oh, someone spun out on the straight. Or did I see that wrong? Let's see here. Nope, must have seen that. Never mind. Sky Archangel getting ready to challenge Persian King for 4th. Coming down into turn 1, heavy braking zone. Persian King doing a good job of keeping his speed up, but Sky Archangel got just a little better exit.
Him a little bit. He's going to be tight into this corner here.
Dives into the braking zone. Persian King's got to do a good job not to cut across the front. Sky Archangel getting a little bit hesitant going into that corner. Getting ready for Persian King to come over.
Looks like he got up on that grass or turf a little bit and was worried he was going to tires to be hit too hard.
Should be noted, we've got Dragon Bone right on the heel of Sky Archangel. It could be either one of them, excuse me, any of the 3 of them holding on to 4th position. Position 4.
A big battle for 4th.
Dragon Bone getting antsy.
Absolutely flying now, 1.6 behind Getchum.
Creamy John's in position to overtake Shea B. Sector 3, yellow flag.
Looks like we got a McLaren that's fun. Maybe Doc Block again? Yeah.
Yep.
He's having a rough race. Looks like he's 2 laps behind already. Rogue into the pits.
Archangel diving down. Ooh, it's hard to tell. Looks like Persian King got a little bit of a worse exit off of. We have Dragonbone contending as well. 3 wide. Dragonbone gets pushed out. Persian King goes a little bit wide, and Sky Archangel comes out on top.
Yeah, you can't go 3 wide there.
No, that I don't blame any of the drivers for trying. They all thought the position was theirs, but in the end, Dragonbone lost out. Now 3 seconds behind Persian King. Persian King still within overtaking range of Sky Archangel. Stoney drops the position down to Shazam in the pits. We'll see if that's where Stoney stays. There's quite a bit of a gap between him and Red Hornet. Looks like Stoney will come out in 10th.
Oh yeah, almost an entire lap.
Getchum, 6/10 behind some idiot. Gap is currently growing. Some idiot doing a good job to get himself back into first. Getchum on 16 lap old
Getchum
tires,
hasn't
dives
even
into the
pitted yet.
pits.
There he goes into the pits, yeah. He's switching to set of softs.
Shazam, 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. Getchum is out. Let's see if Sky Archangel's able to overtake him. I believe he will.
I think he should.
Sky Archangel gets past him. Persian King also gets past him. Getchum
And
coming.
Dragonbone.
Yep, coming out right behind Dragonbone. Still has a pretty healthy gap between himself and Shay B in 6th.
Yeah, and we'll see what he can do now with these fresh softs. Everyone else around him's got pretty worn tires.
Dragonbone attacking Persian King. Seeing if he can't get past. Dragonbone, 8 lap old mediums. Persian King, 17 lap old mediums. Every lap that Persian King's able to keep Dragonbone behind him here is a win in my book.
Yeah.
Persian King looking like he's trying to get to the... Well, he's at 11 laps now, so the softs will last him. If Persian King... Would not be surprised to see Persian King pull into the pits at this lap.
Yeah, he's got to be coming in pretty quick here. Those mediums got to be screaming. Oh yeah, that slide there into that corner.
A little bit of a slide by Persian King allows Dragonbone to get past him. I imagine, yep, he'll lose the place to Getchum as well. Persian King has got to be looking to go into the pits this lap.
Yeah, I think so.
Riding on board with Getchum, 7/10 of a second to Dragonbone. Persian King dives into the pits.
And I think Getchum's going to be trying to make a move down into the hairpin here.
Getchum making a nice move.
Nice move by him.
See if he can make it stick. Dragonbone still hot on his heels. Getchum putting quite a bit of distance between himself and Dragonbone. Just got that much of a better exit on turn 5. Going into turn 6.
Those fresh offs will be nice for him.
Absolutely. Those have got to feel good to be on those at this point in the race.
Yeah, especially now coming up to Sky Archangel, who's 4.5 seconds ahead of him on old hards.
Yep, absolutely. He should be able to close that distance in no time, but it'll be getting the pass that is the key.
Yeah.
Rogue in a good position to pass Sabi here. Coming into the very fast turn 11, into turn 12, getting the exit.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be quite close enough here with this DRS, but if he can stay close to these last 3-4 corners.
Yeah, he's about 3/10 away from Shay B into the next DRS zone, I think is going to be the key.
Yeah, as long as he can stay close, he'll have a shot into either turn 1 or turn 3.
Stays close through 15. Gets a decent exit on turn 16. Is it going to be better than Shay's exit?
Doesn't look like it.
With the
He's
DRS,
taking
he
it
gets a little bit
now.
of a boost. Going to take it down the inside. Got to be careful not to cut across the front.
There, though.
That had to be close. Did not give Shay B much room.
No.
Rogue doing a little bit of swerving, trying to break the slipstream.
And I think Shapey was lucky he didn't lose the wing there. I think he made some avoiding action. He had to have.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, his wing looks intact. Hard to tell from the pod view. Rogue laying down quite a bit of time between himself and Shea B. Got about a second on him already. Let's see if Shea is in the DRS range when he comes down the back straight.
Doesn't look like he will be.
Looks like he's just going to be just outside of it.
Stoney's looking to do something on Shazam here. Now he's with the DRS range.
8/10, a little bit of a lockup from Shazam. Coming down the back straight.
He's making up time in spades down this back straight.
Closed it to 6/10. They are very similarly matched mediums. Stoney's are 3 laps old, Shazam's are 5 laps old. Both racers have to
great
do a good
exit.
job. Much faster than Shazam. Down the inside. Shazam does a good job of giving Stoney the space there. Deciding to make his fight from the back.
Stuck with another 50-second penalty.
Shazam still in DRS range, but only barely. Good turn 1, clean exit. Gets the DRS down the second straight. Falling just a second outside, Stoney takes it a little wide into turn 3 there. Turn 4 gets a good exit.
Yeah, and it looks like Stoney's lost him for now.
Yep, Stoney got 2 seconds on Shazam. That should be enough to hold that position.
Creamy with a 3-second as well.
Not a 3-second penalty. So yes, this league, I can confirm without confirming that we are racing without the racing line. Braking zones become a lot harder to judge. That has a large effect on tire wear. They start to go a lot earlier than drivers would expect them to, especially if they practice with the racing line. When you're battling, you tend to miss apexes. You tend to be more focused on the other car as opposed to watching your braking zones. So without that racing line, you've got to watch them just that much closer. Rogue closing the distance on Dragon Bone at a decent clip. Has made up 2/10 this lap already. 3/10, and you gotta like the position he's in. Rogue with 5 lap old mediums, and Dragon Bone with 12 lap old mediums.
Yeah, Dragon Ball will be starting to struggle here pretty quick on those.
He's got to be going to the end of the race at this point, right?
I think so. They should last 6 laps.
Rogue within DRS zone. He will have DRS down the main straight, provided he gets a good exit. At the penultimate corner. Makes a good exit, crosses the DRS zone right there. Will have DRS down the main straight.
Yeah, and if he has a good turn 1, that should give him a shot into turn 3.
3/10, got to make a good turn 1 entry. Very nice, taking just enough curb on turn
He should
2.
be close enough.
Absolutely, this
Just being an easy
DRS.
pass.
Dragon Bone fighting to take the position back, doing a very good job to stay right on Rogue as he passes, taking advantage of the slipstream through the second part of the main straight, second main straight. Dragon Bone keeping the gap consistent at 4/10.
It seems to be struggling to keep up with Sky Archangel here. It looks like he's losing he's lost about 3/10 about this lap.
Yellow flag, sector 1. And his way. Ooh, a little bit of a slide there from Dragon Bone on the exit of corner 10. Into corner 11, no fuss. Downshift, throws it in, throws it back out. Not enough to make up any time on Rogue. Rogue now comfortably ahead of Dragon Bone by 1.4 seconds. Shea B will be next, 5 seconds behind Dragon Bone.
And it looks like right now Sky Archangel and Gitchum are lapping at about the same pace, so not looking good for him to get up into second unless he really starts to put in some laps here.
No, Sky Archangel still has about 10 laps according to the tire wear indicator. So he should be looking uncomfortable on those hards. So provided Getchum can't make up any time, I believe Sky Archangel will hold on to second. Meanwhile, we have some idiot out front. I think he's got a nice drink in the cup holder there. Maybe a nice mimosa.
He could almost have a pit and come back out in front.
Oh yeah, if he wanted to just to show off. Let's go ahead and take a look at our time tables. Fastest lap. He's already got the fastest lap. No reason to pit unless he thinks Getchum can do it on 6-lap old softs. But that's not likely. Red Hornet maybe has a chance with 3-lap old softs. But again, still not likely. So I think some idiot will probably carry the fastest
barring
lap,
a
no
mistake
problem.
on his end.
Yeah. Emily, thanks for tuning in. Here to support her big brother, Nick. Thanks for tuning in. Again, remember to like and subscribe. This is PPR Esports. We're streaming on the YouTube channel. Go ahead and follow us on Twitter as well. Link is in the bio. I'm Kermit.
I'm Cosmo.
And we are PPR Racing.
It looks like we got about 5 laps here left in Australia. Bring it on home for you. Oh, now Gitchum's looking at his move down. Now he's eating up that time. Yeah.
Now, choosing to make his charge. Let's take a look.
Oh, it looks like he does not have a lot of ERS right now. His battery charge is very low.
He did not, so he may have just used it up trying to close that interval. Let's take a look at Sky Archangel, see how much. Sky Archangel has about half ERS left. We'll see how he uses it. If he uses it correctly, he shouldn't have too much of an issue staying ahead of Getchum. Getchum falling another 10th behind, a 1.8 behind Sky Archangel. So if you're Getchum, you've got to be looking at just holding on to your position here. You've got 9-lap-old mediums coming behind you. They should have slightly more grip than you, but unless Rogue can do a lot in the last 3 laps here, it's going to have a really tough time closing that gap.
Yeah, I think he's still looking to get up into second here. I think he's got a shot. A couple laps. We'll see.
Drops to 2 seconds behind Sky Archangel. He has to make up about 7/10 per lap starting next lap. We'll see if he can make the charge. Getchum keeping the gap very consistent between himself and Sky Archangel, 1.9 seconds. Needs to get the gap down to 1.2 seconds to have a chance and continue that for the next 3 finishing laps of the race.
Yeah, and it's going to get harder and harder the older those tires get.
Absolutely. At 9 laps old, there's not a whole lot of life left in them. 11 to 13 max is what those tires are rated for. So there are laps left, but the question is, are they fast laps?
It does not look like it. Now he's down to 2.5 seconds.
Not losing too much time to Rogue, though. Lost about a second, but as long as he holds at that rate, shouldn't have any problem holding on to third.
No, I think barring any mistakes from anyone, this should be the order they finish in.
This will be the finishing order. Of course, there are a lot of penalties on the grid currently. Let's go take a look. I don't think we're in danger of an overtake. Oh, we have yellow sector 1.
And Creamy John's with another 3.
Creamy John's pulled off to the side there. As you saw, some idiot just passed him. I believe that's who it was. Well, thanks for that.
I don't believe so. I don't think he's been lapped yet.
It could have been the Williams I saw from Red Hornet. Yeah, Creamy John's position has remained pretty solid. Some idiot as well. 29 seconds ahead of second. Red Hornet, 3-second time penalty. Some idiot comes down the main straight for the white flag.
Final lap here, the Australian Grand Prix.
Rogue
Race
down to
1.
2.4 seconds on Getchum. Now, that lap timer is for some idiot. Some idiot is the only car on the last lap currently. Sky Archangel crosses the line. Is now currently on the last lap as well. Rogue trying to chase Getchum down the main straight. Got it down to 2 seconds. Can he make up 2 seconds?
I don't think he can. Not an 11 lap, well, it's off.
Getchum would have to make quite a big mistake here for Rogue to be able to gain 2.1 seconds in one lap. However, Getchum is on 11 lap old softs, so if it's going to happen at any point in the race, it would happen now. Rogue down to 1.8 second gap. Getchum's got to be feeling the pressure. 1.7.
Puts it on the grass there and lost some time, though.
Yep. Rogue barreling down the back straight.
Line this lap.
Rogue got it up into 5 ERS deployment with only 8% battery left. Gonna run out of fuel soon as well, but he's got to be getting everything from that car currently. 1.4 seconds behind Getchum. Some idiot crosses the finish line, goes first in Australian Grand Prix for PPR Season 1. Australia. Sky Archangel trundle across the finish line 31 seconds later.
Yeah, and I don't think it's in the cards today for Rogue. I think if we had one more, we'd be up on that podium, but...
I think you're right about that. Getchum tires are just starting to slip out from under him, but he's done a very good job of keeping them within the operating window. Rogue out of gas. Dragonbone coming up on him, but it's not going to be enough time. Dragonbone crosses the line next.
Creamy in the grass in 7th, going around the final corner.
Shay B coming down the main straight solidifies his spot in 6th, pending time penalty. Creamy Johns crosses the line. Persian King will be next. Persian King crosses the line. No muss, no fuss. And Stoney, the last racer to finish a lap.
Oh, Doc Block, I think, was on his lap.
Cross the finish line.
He'll finish to end us up.
The game has not known how to handle him. They have him a minute and 11 seconds off the person in front of him, but the person in front of him is a lap down. So, not sure exactly where he came, but I believe it was 12th.
Yep.
So, congratulations to some idiot takes pole position.
What a race. Absolutely checked out.
Oh, and right on cue. We almost get a timeout from Steam here. Communicating with online services. Yeah, we didn't want to watch a celebration anyway. That's okay. Our leader left. That would be why. Some idiot solidifies first. Sky Archangel second, and Getchum third. Rogue comes in fourth, Dragonbone fifth, Shea Beast sixth, Creamy John seventh, Persian King eighth, Stony ninth, Shazam 10th, Red Hornet, Doc Balak, Kublai, Ruda, and Gore finishing out 15th. Capita, Dagger, Warren, Muffin Man, and Delirious finish out our bottom five. So, 8 DNFs from this race, plenty of time penalties. What do you think, Cosmo?
Well, it was a good race, but I'm hoping next week to see a cleaner race. A lot
Yeah.
of contact, a lot of corner cutting. But it's race one, you know?
Yeah, race one, they're still working out some of the kinks. A lot of them are just learning how much they might need to practice for this race without lines. And one of the more important things, something that took me a while to catch on to, is you can't just practice time trials. It's just not going to work.
No.
You're going to get your best lap down, but you're not necessarily going to get your best lap down with other cars on the track, which in the end is a lot of what it comes down to.
Yeah, that race pace is really more important than being able to go fast on the lap.
Yep, absolutely. The race pace is about 90% of the race. And as Ruda unfortunately showed us, I know he's out there. Shout out to Ruda. He unfortunately showed us that you can qualify second, but if the race pace you don't have what it. Oh, well, that was because of an accident. But race pace, accident or otherwise, you can easily fall from second in the race.
Yeah, let's check the Discord here and see if there's any incidents.
Yep, let's take a look. I don't know if I have set up currently in order to get those quite where they need to be. But we'll go ahead and hop in the voice chat here. Congratulations to some idiot. P1, race 1, PPR. Let me go grab. Let's see if Cosmo come join me in here. All right, we'll hang out in the PPR voice chat for a little while. If some idiot wants to come and talk with us in the winner's circle, that'd be great. But if not, we'll hopefully talk to one of our other racers. So we'll see what's gonna happen here. Give them a little bit of time to come back to it. But otherwise, pretty messy race. At least two different instances. I saw my first legitimate safety car in one of these online races in probably a while. Oliver, thanks for joining us. We always appreciate doing the commentary. Had a little bit of kinks again. Sorry about the upset with all the different graphics we had on the stream. Something I was hoping to put together for today. I'll gather a little more data from our racers. Hopefully we'll have a nice bio put out and a few more little frills to put on the stream. So this was actually our second stream because we did a preseason. This one went a little less smooth, but we were a little more ambitious with what we tried to do this time. So I'm okay with it.
Yeah, and I think the more and more time that goes on, the more and more glad.
Yep, absolutely. We'll get a little bit better at it each time. I'll get a little